Hey, welcome everybody to another Demon Souls Remake PS5 guide or tutorial. So the subject of this one is going to be how to grind for souls. And of course, you can use souls for a multitude of reasons. It's the currency in the game. And having a lot of it is always helpful. You can use it to obviously buy lots of potions, useful items, and of course, most importantly, you can use it to raise levels. Now, in the beginning, when you're just starting to raise levels, you can raise quite a few very quickly. That's the way the game is designed. But as you begin to go higher, especially once you get into, I think, the 70, 80, 90 soul level range, grinding does become a little bit more difficult. Each level does require exponentially more souls. And by the time you're in the hundreds of levels, it can get very, very tough. One soul level could cost easily, a few 100,000 souls. And so there's a lot of guides on YouTube, obviously, and all over the internet about what are the better places to grind. And there's early game, there's mid game, there's all sorts of, again, lovely strategies. And so I'll let you, peruse those at your leisure. Here, we're going to be talking about the fastest way to get souls legitimately, without glitching, without using the gold coin glitch and then going to King a lot, or going online multiplayer and use the Soulsucker bloodstain method to give you a billion or so souls. I say that 3 times fast. So without glitching, this is absolutely the fastest way to get souls. And just to kind of give you an example of how difficult it would be, I think using this method, and I did this to grind almost 9 million. So just to let you know, going to my status, as you can see, I'm soul level 712. I've maxed everything out. All the abilities are level 99, and you can see that the theoretical number of souls necessary to raise just one level is 8,879,349. When I went from luck 98 to 99, I needed 8,840,000 or so souls. And so I did grind that all the way from 0 souls because I died earlier going into the Tower of Latria. And the reason I wanted to do that was because my luck was at 98. I was soul level 711, and that happened because I had been soul sucked by False King a lot in one of the boss battles. And so he had taken me down from 712 to 711. Obviously, I didn't get to level 712 legitimately. I did use the gold coin glitch to bank the billion souls to raise it that way. But just to give you an idea, if you're really, say, hell-bent on getting to level 712 legitimately, then you can do the math, understand that it does, even at this speed, if you're doing everything perfectly, you're doing everything well, it's averages like a million souls every, I would say every 20 minutes, a million every 20, meaning if you're just doing it very, very well, very comfortable, not making any mistakes, not introducing any inefficiencies, etc., you're doing 3 million souls an hour. So 3 million souls an hour, it would take you 3 hours to get about 9 million souls. So you're looking at 3 hours to raise one level. And the last 100 levels, you're looking at anywhere from 6 to 8 million. So that just gives you an idea, you would have to expend literally 1,000 hours, hundreds of hours to maybe even 1,000 if you truly wanted to get to level 712 legitimately. Well, I'm sure that there are a couple of individuals out there in the world who may have done that. It's pretty unlikely. Okay, so this is the greatest test because again, I wanted to just get up to 712, get that one level back. And it took me, on average, it took me about 3.5 hours because I was a little bit inefficient. So 3.5 hours to get the 8.8 million souls to get back to 712. So that is the potential for this. And there is no way, again, legitimately in Demon Souls to raise millions of souls this quickly. Again, you're looking at 3 million on average an hour. And then if you're bored, you can just do it for maybe 20 minutes, and you'll still get over 1 million souls quite easily. So this is the best way to do it. Now, there are a couple of things to understand. So the whole point of this video is to kind of go through the nuances, describe what to think about, describe the gear, all of these things. So the first thing you're going to want, and you actually need very little in terms of doing it, but you do need other significant things. So the first thing we're going to go over are the spells that you're going to use. So I go to Attune Magic, I get rid of every spell, again for efficiency, except for 3 spells. So the first one is Soul Thirst, and then Evacuate, and then Soulsucker. So Soul Thirst, Evacuate, and Soulsucker, and always shows up in that particular order. These are the 3 spells you're going to need. So obviously that means that you cannot take advantage of this grinding until you're in at least New Game Plus. And the reason why is because this spell, Soulsucker, can only be obtained from Urea the Witch, from the Maiden in Black's soul. She gives you the soul after you choose the good ending. You leave her alone, and she gives it to you as a gift. And then you give that to Urea, who will give you the Soulsucker spell. Soul Thirst, I believe, is obtained from the Golden Demon Soul, who's the final archdemon of Volatria. Check me if I'm wrong on that. I believe that is the soul that you obtain. It's not Austria, right? She doesn't give you that. It's not the Demon Dragon God. That's Fire, Storm, and God's Wrath, and Fireball. And it's definitely not King Alot. 4 is the Storm King. He doesn't give you Soul Thirst, does he? No. I think he gives you anti-magic in the Morian Blade. Yeah, so the Golden Demon Soul is what gives you Soul Thirst, I believe. And so, the first playthrough, you're going to have to make some decisions. I think you can also get the homing arrows as well. And so, you have to kind of decide what spells you want to prioritize. Soul Thirst is critical for this grind to work. And so I would suggest getting Soul Thirst during the first playthrough. So New Game Plus, minimum, okay? And you can only do this if you get Soul Thirst in your first playthrough, so I do recommend getting that. And then Evacuate can get the first time through. It's one of the most basic spells. And then, of course, Soulsucker you can only get by getting the Maiden in Black, her soul. And that can only be done by choosing to leave and by not killing her. So a few things, in order for you to even be able to do this run on New Game Plus, you must, again, make the correct choices, meaning that in your first New Game playthrough, you have to use the Golden Demon Soul to learn Soul Thirst, and then you have to choose the good ending, get the Maiden in Black's soul. You have to free Urea in New Game Plus, and after freeing her, you can then learn Soulsucker from her. Okay, so those are the 3 spells that you need to have. In terms of the items, I usually have the aged spice or fresh spice, but actually using my personal technique or my run through, you shouldn't have to use any magic, any spice at all to replenish your magic. Okay, so let's go into the submenu screen. So first of all, you have to be type A. If you are type B, which is a male type, I advise you to go here to the Statue of Reflection and go into Customize Character. And then from there, give the offering of 18,000 souls, alter your appearance. 18,000 souls is not too much. You can easily grind that using some of the lesser, farming methods. And then change your type to type A, which is a female. The reason for that is because you are going to want to use the silver bracelets. You get the silver bracelets in the Tower of Latria, the Prison of Hope level. I will leave you to figure that out yourself. That's pretty straightforward, and you will have obtained that during your first play through the game if you're being thorough. And so this bracelet, unfortunately, can only be used by a female, so it's only usable by type A. And then I also like to put on the silver coronet, which gives you a slight magic MP, number of magic point boost. And you can do whatever you want for the actual armor as well as the greaves. I happen to just put on the penetrator one, but you can go naked or not. That doesn't matter as well. Since you're going to be doing this on New Game Plus, most likely the enemies that you're going to be going through is going to one-shot you no matter what armor you're going to wear, because that's how tough the game is. Now, personally, I am actually in New Game +6, so this is my 7th playthrough. So the game supposedly stops scaling after New Game +5. So on your 6th playthrough of the game, the amount of damage the enemies do to you, and the amount of hit points that you have, etc., it stops getting worse. So at New Game +5 and further, and probably even New Game Plus or plus, etc., just understand that when you're doing this, any mistake where you are going to get hit by an enemy is going to be a death. They will one-shot you immediately. So it's a game of one-shot. You're going to one-shot them, and they are going to one-shot you. Okay. So again, because of that, the armor, the body, and the legs don't really matter. But in my build, at least, of how I do this, I like to have a silver coronet on, and I like to have the silver bracelet, which is very important. I leave nothing in my left hand. There's no need for that, no shield or anything like that. You don't need that. In the right hand, and this is very important, you should have a talisman of beasts. Again, if you play through New Game Plus, you're going to get this. You get the talisman of beasts either by going through the Mephistopheles quest and killing Strava at the end of the game, or you can get it by killing Black Phantom Scurvier in World 2.2 on Pure Black Tendency. So you should have a talisman of beasts. The Insanity Catalyst works as well, of course, as does others, but this is just more convenient because it allows you to cast, multiple different types of spells. And then finally, you do want to have a longbow. Now, in my case, I chose a quality compound longbow. When you have level 99 dexterity and strength, this actually gives you slightly more damage than a sticky compound longbow +5. But either or is fine. Just get the best longbow that you have. Again, playing through the game once, you should have no problems getting these items. So right hand, you're going to be alternating between the talismans of beasts and the bow, and then here again, silver coronet, and silver bracelets. And in terms of the ammo, I like to use heavy arrows. If you free patches from section 4- do you free him? Well, if you obtain him, I think is the better word. So if you obtain patches in section 4.2, which you're going to be doing, you're going to be doing that, of course. Then you're going to be able to have access to buy heavy arrows. They're relatively cheap. Get a couple hundred of them. I have 270, but get over 200. You're going to need the arrows, as you can see. And then for the 2 rings, get a Ring of Avarice, which can be bought from the ex or the former noblewoman's wife in the Tower of Latria, or you can find it at the bottom of Upper Latria when you're going through the Man-Eaters level. I will again leave you to obtain that by yourself. You should have this on your first playthrough. And the other one, you should get either a Grave Robber's Ring, which lets you hide from Black Phantoms, or the Thief Ring, which lets you hide from everything. I just happen to have the Grave Robber's Ring, but I think the Thief Ring should work just as well. So hopefully all of that's pretty clear. These are the items that you need to have. And if you finish the game once and been thorough, there should be no issues getting any of these. Okay? So now, in terms of doing it, you are going to be going to World 4-3. Okay? And it's also very important that the world tendency for world number 4, the Shrine of Storms, has to be pure black, because you're going to be farming a dual-wielding Black Phantom skeleton, and as well as a Black Phantom gold skeleton, and they don't show up unless you are on pure black tendency. So if you need to, you might have to use a few stones of ephemeral eyes and die however many times you need to in World 4 to get to pure black tendency. Another reason why pure black tendency is really important is because that also maximizes the amount of souls you're going to get by killing them. And also on pure black world tendency, it increases the rate of getting Bladestone chunks or pure Bladestone when you kill the dual wielding Black Phantom skeleton. And that doesn't happen on any other world level. So you're going to want to go pure for sure, pure black world tendency, which is going to be a -4. Okay. You can refer to my video or many other videos that talk about manipulation of world and character tendencies to achieve that. That should be pretty simple. So now the stage is set. Again, understand, you are going to get 3 million in an hour if you do this correctly. It's going to require some practice. You are going to die quite a few times in the beginning just because you have to sort of figure out all of the range and exact location and positioning. Understand that if you play a game from the very beginning all the way to the end and you don't die even once, in other words, you don't lose your souls at all. You can die, but if you don't die twice, you don't lose your souls, you're getting maybe 3 million souls for an entire playthrough of the game, beating every single boss in the game in one playthrough. As you progress from new game to new game plus, and then plus, etc., the enemies get tougher, and the number of souls that you get from killing them also gets a lot higher. So at new game plus 6, which is what I'm on, you're pretty much maxed out. You're not going to be able to get any more any more souls. This is kind of the maximum rate. Okay, so this really is a pretty remarkable way of getting it. This is for high level grinding. And for New Game Plus, in order for you to survive New Game Plus and higher, you're going to need to raise soul levels. A soul level character 40, 50, 60, unless you're extremely skilled, you're going to get one shot a lot. The game on New Game Plus is a significant ramp up. And while there's smaller ramp ups from plus to plus subsequently, by the time you get to New Game Plus 5, where the scaling stops, it's tremendously difficult. Any enemy, even a normal enemy, can one-shot you if you're careless, if you don't have the right armor, if you don't have warding on. And so at that stage, you're going to want 99 vitality. You're going to want 99, stamina. If you're depending on the build you're going for, you're going to want 50 magic, 50 faith plus. You're going to want 50 strength and dexterity. You're going to need to build soul levels up into the hundreds at least. I would say, 200-300 to comfortably grind through all of the different new game variations and not have to play extraordinarily skillfully, in my opinion. Okay, I'm not a very good Demon Souls player. I'm not super good at dodging, parrying, etc. And so for me, this is kind of what I found to be the case. And so it really is something that while you can, because of the spells, the limitation of the Soulsucker, even though this is a grinding method that is exclusive essentially to New Game Plus, actually in New Game Plus and higher, this is the method that you really need to use and take advantage of to continue to increase your power and your levels so you can play the games more comfortably, future cycles of the game more comfortably. Again, for New Game, the Reaper in section 4.2, the so-called ritual path, as well as all the way in the monolith forest when you're killing the mantas with the storm sword or whatnot, is going to be faster. At that point, it's better to grind in New Game. But once you get a New Game Plus, then this is the way to do it. Okay, so here we go. What you do is you first of all go to the Altura Storms and get ready. So from here, once you appear, you are going to turn around and go backwards. So you don't want to go into the last level. Instead, run and go all the way back, backwards here. Go down the tunnel. You're going to go through the place where there's those mists and the phosphorescent slugs right here. I like to go here, and then immediately at this little island bridge or whatever, I go all the way to the right, and you hug the wall. That's the safest. You tend to run across the least amount of these little things that explode on you. And then you go through this cave, keep going, up. And then you're going to have to take out a Reaper. Up the stairs, switch to the arrow, go up. Even on New Game Plus 6, 3 arrows from my bow will take care of him. Switch to your wand. You should already be on Soulsuck. And then keep on going. You can run all the way up until here, stop. Now target the Black Phantom skeleton and then walk. Do not run, you just walk methodically, and you have to stop right about here, maybe a little bit closer. Then use Soul Thirst to ramp up your amount, and then go through, Soulsuck him, one blow he's killed, pick up his stuff, and then run up and stop right here. Again, walk very slowly, target the closest golden skeleton Black Phantom, stop right about here, and then soul suck him. That will alert his partner. Back up, don't mess with him, go back to evacuate and get out. That's it, guys. This takes less than 2 minutes and you're done. Now I'm going to run through it again just to kind of show you how fast it is. You're back at the Nexus, run all the way back. Go right back to the auto storm. We're going to do this again. Now, while you're doing this, always be sure to pick up what the dual wielding katana guy drops, because he will on occasion drop Bladestone chunks and Pure Bladestones, which are very excruciatingly, annoyingly difficult to get. And so you can kill two birds with one stone while you're farming and grinding for souls to raise levels. You can also gain material to get your dexterity builds and get your maximum weapons, your +10s and +5 weapons and stuff like that. Okay, I think I got in my 3 hours of play, I got about 4 or 5 Pure Bladestones, which for those of you who understand what that's like, is a really, really nice drop rate. Okay, so here we go again. Go to the bows, switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch to the switch your Talisman of Beasts. You can also stop by and pick up some that he gives you Moonlight Shards and chunks sometimes, which I don't really care about. Got to know when to stop. Stop right here. Do not run or you will alert him. And then again, control of the analog. Walk gently to him. Don't go too close or you will alert him. Stop right about here. Soul Thirst. Soulsucker. Now Soul Thirst lasts for 30 seconds, okay? So while the Soul Thirst is active, you want to quickly go up and get that second guy. Okay, again, methodical, don't hurry. That's close enough. Time it, got him, boom, back up, don't mess with him. And we're gonna teleport and say bye-bye to him, okay? Okay, so I mean that's it in a nutshell. You can see that in just 2 runs, I've gotten you to 505,170. The Soul Thirst increases souls by I think 50%. The Silver Gauntlets another 10%, and then the Rim Average 30%. So you're looking at 90% extra souls. Pure Black Tendency also increases the number of souls. That's what you do over and over again. Now, why do you screw up sometimes? If you get too close to the skeleton, they'll be alerted. If they're alerted, you have to back away, run away, let them reset, and then redo it. That will waste time, okay? In addition, if you, for instance, decide to do the Soulsucker, and you alert them, and then you go into the Soulsucker animation, they will kill you with one blow. All of these enemies, Pure Black Tendency, especially on New Game Plus and above, they will one-shot you. And then if they one-shot you, obviously you lose all your souls, and then the stakes get quite a bit higher, because if you die again before reaching them, you make another mistake, you'll lose all your souls. Now, for most of you who are grinding early, you're not going to be like me trying to get 8.8 million souls. That's going to require literally 3 hours worth of runs, all mistake-free or largely mistake-free. And during that time, I've died probably about half a dozen times, but luckily never dying twice in a row. I always was able to get back to the bloodstain and pick up my souls. So it does require precision. And when you're doing this, you just have to get a sense and a feel for how close you have to stand behind these various skeletons in order to do well. If you get too close, you will alert them. That's obviously not what you want. But if you're too far away, then the Soulsucker is not going to hit them because they're out of range from you. And so that's not ideal either. So you need to get right next to them, but not so close as to alert them. There's a special way of kind of just feeling it out. And so you need to play this kind of route a couple times and experiment to figure out exactly the distancing. And that's not something that I can really, show you. You can watch this video and rewind to those parts and just kind of get an idea of seeing where you're supposed to be, and maybe that'll help you. You always want the Talisman of Beasts in the right hand, because when he does the Soul Suck, you can see that he actually steps forward and then does it like this. And when you do that, that gives you just a little bit more range than if you do it with the left hand. So you definitely want the Talisman of Beasts on the right-hand side, okay? Now, there are some people who actually go after both Black Phantom Gold skeletons. Those are the 2 guys with the big swords. But if you've been watching my video, you'll see that that's not really a good idea. Number one, it wastes some time. When you get the first Black Phantom Gold skeleton, it always alerts the partner. He always stands around and he's going to come after you, and then you have to back away, and then you have to wait for him to slowly turn around. His positioning is also very awkward. It's very difficult actually to get perfect positioning to soul suck him. And if you miss with that soul suck and alert him, he kills you in one blow, which then wastes even more time. Also puts pressure on you because you screwed up one time, you screw up again, you're going to lose all the millions of souls that you've already grinded at that time. And I also find that you waste quite a bit of time. It takes at least another, I would say, 30 seconds to reset him, and then you have to slip up behind him. By that time, your soul thirst has already run out, which means if you want to get the extra bonus, you have to cast Soul Thirst again. You don't have enough magic points to cast Soul Thirst. One casting is 200 magic points, and then Soul Suck is 100 magic points. You already cast that twice, once on the Katana Black Phantom, and then on the first gold Black Phantom. That means that you've already used the 400 magic points. You need to save a couple, I think 30 or so, just to evacuate back to the Nexus, which means if you want to spend another 100 on that last black skeleton, the gold skeleton, I'm sorry, and then you want to Soul Thirst, you have to then drink the Aged Spice to refill your magic bar. Then if you keep doing that, you're going to eventually run out and you're going to have to go to Latria in order to buy from her. Now, this is not an insignificant thing to do. If you run out of the Aged Spice, you're going to have plenty of money, but you have to kill 2 of those squid guys in order to get to her, and they can kill you, one-shot you on New Game +6 or New Game Plus and higher. So I feel like my technique, currently the way I have it is just a lot more efficient. It takes less than 2 minutes, probably a minute 40 to a minute 50 seconds to go through it. The main source of souls is the Katana Black Phantom anyways, and then you just pick up that other one, Gravy. If you mess up or you screw up, just evacuate out and start over again. It's just much faster that way. So I think that hopefully this is useful. There are other YouTube videos dating all the way back 10 years to the original PlayStation 3 version that shows this route, but none of them really kind of go into as much detail as I do into like why do you do certain builds, things like that. So again, you now know exactly what I use, which hand all these items are supposed to be in, why they're there, why you need to have the arrows. Again, you're going to use 3 arrows per run, at least at my level. Of course, I have 99 dexterity, 99 strength. I have a quality compound longbow +5. You will differ. But just remember that, yes, your characters may not have as a good equipment as I do, but you're all going to have the Talents of the Beast. You're all going to have the Silver Coronet. You're all going to have the Silver Bracelets. You're all going to have the Ring of Avarice, as well as the Grave Robbers or Thief Ring. You're all going to have access to hard arrows. The only thing that you don't have access to, obviously, is my stats. But remember that on New Game Plus, you don't need to have 99 stats. I mean, you just have 30, 40 dexterity and strength or whatnot, or just have, say, 40 or 50 dexterity, or do whatever you need, even 30 dexterity. You do a sticky compound longbow +5. Remember that the enemies will be vastly less challenging on your New Game Plus or Plus than on my New Game +6, right? And so everything scales accordingly. That's why this still works. So I'll do this one more time to kind of just show you again my playthrough. I get on Soul Thirst, go to Outer Storms. And again, pay attention when I do this, and you'll see why I don't go after that last Black Phantom Ghost Skeleton. It's just not worth it. You have to go all the way back. It wastes time, and there's dangerous too. It's dangerous. In the times when I died, literally 90% of my deaths came at the hands of that second, Black Phantom Goat Skeleton trying to maximize things. And I just realized, you know what? It's not worth it. You're going to make up for the 30 to 50,000 souls you get from him. You're going to make all of that up with just the speed of doing it over and over again. So here you go. You can get pretty close to this guy, and he's not going to really do anything. And then you switch. So everything should be streamlined for grinding, right? That's why you can see I don't have any other real spells. Minimal items in my hands. Keep running, and we're going to stop right here. And then just go slow. And again, you have to just know when to stop. It's just like after you do it enough times, you know you're going to stop right here. And you know that when you do the Soul Suck, because you move forward, 100% you're going to get this guy. Boom, just like that. Pick up his stuff. You have a Pure Bladestone. I hope you saw that. Pure Bladestone, right? So got lucky right there. That'll be my 5th. And then again, walk slow. You got 30 seconds. You got plenty of time. Stop right about here. And then boom, you got him. Get ready to evacuate. This guy's gonna come. He's gonna come at you, you know. And this is like, it just takes forever to get him to like reset. Why bother doing that? One blow, he'll kill you. Get out. Perfect. Okay, and here I am, like 661,000 already. Just like 3 or 4 runs, we're already there. So we reset back to Soul Thirst to go and do it again. Okay, so I hope that was useful for you. And again, with a little bit of practice, simplification, right? When you want to farm, you need consistency. You don't want farming where you get killed half the time. You want consistency and simplicity and reproducibility. So make it simple. You can see that I don't use anything. I use Soulsucker. It's all the same. Soul Thirst, and then Soulsucker, and then Soulsucker, and then evacuate, you're done. All of the soul sucking is done in one Soul Thirst window. You kill the Reaper without worrying about Soul Thirst. Again, it costs 200 MP. You don't want to waste it on that. 3 arrows takes him down. It's less than 2 minutes. You can time it if you really want to. I think it's probably 1 minute 50 or so, maybe a little bit less. Fast, reproducible, again. And while you're doing that, you're also, getting pure Bladestone shards as well as, you're getting Bladestone shards and chunks and pure Bladestone. So you can see another pure Bladestone off. I've already got 99, so I'm just going to discard these guys. I don't need it. And then you do get your occasional soul remains as well, which I have 99 of. So you are killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're not only, raising tons of souls, raising levels, but you're also getting the pure Bladestone and the Bladestone chunks from the Black Phantom dual-wielding katanas, who drops them at quite a higher rate than the regular dual-wielding katana, even on pure Black War tendency. Okay. And so please remember again, all of this has to be on pure Black War tendency. That's it. Thanks for watching this video with me, and I hope that for those of you grinding or playing this game at the highest levels, up at the new game plus 5 and above, that this is going to prove useful for you. By the way, once you've done grinding, you can always go back here, of course, and pay your 18,000 souls to get back to whatever character you want, whether it's male or female. I tend to like playing with the Ancient Kings set, and that's a male only armor, and so I tend to just use that. But again, that's just the fashion of Demon Souls. You can do whatever you want. All right, thanks for again being with me, and until next time, take care, and hopefully that gives you all the information you need to basically grind what you need. And this is, in my opinion, the best and the only way to kind of get up to the higher levels, to the hundreds of levels, without losing your mind or without glitching. Good luck, and until next time, again, do take care.